When it comes to baked goods, it seems like most people forget about banana bread. Everyone wants to talk about cookies, brownies, and cupcakes. Don't get me wrong, I definitely have a sweet tooth for those, but I wanted to go back to the basics with this recipe. It's packed with flavor and super moist on the inside, but more importantly, each slice has 154 calories and 11 grams of protein, and it's pretty quick to make. All you need is half a cup of flour, half a cup of almond flour, 2 scoops of a high-quality whey and casein blend protein powder, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Stir everything around with a whisk until no clumps remain in your dry ingredients. In a separate bowl, add 2 large bananas, which comes out to around 300 grams if you're using a food scale. As a side note, I highly recommend using this tool because it makes cooking and baking so much easier. You'll also need 2 whole eggs, 3/4 cup plain Greek yogurt, 1/4 cup sugar-free maple syrup, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then mash everything together with a fork until you get a somewhat smooth consistency. As a side note, it's much easier to mash bananas when they're perfectly ripened. Add about half of your dry ingredients from the first bowl and mix everything together with a spatula. Then add the other half. This technique helps reduce the amount of mixing time, but it will also prevent clumps from forming in the batter. You'll then want to transfer the mixture to a bread pan that's lightly sprayed with cooking oil to prevent sticking. Place the bread pan in your oven set to 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 35 to 40 minutes. The exact amount of time will vary on your oven, so if you're like me and have an oven that's not so efficient, it'll be closer to 40 minutes. You can always try the toothpick test to make sure your protein banana bread is finished. Insert a toothpick directly into the center of the bread, and if it comes out clean, that means the bread is finished. If not, you'll need to bake it a little longer. That's all it takes to make the best protein banana bread you've ever had. And the macros on this one aren't too bad if I say so myself. We're looking at 154 calories, 15 carbs, 5 fat, and 11 grams of protein per slice. This recipe makes 9 slices that are about 3/4 to an inch thick. And if you're wondering why I only have 8 slices here, well, that's because I had to sample one. This recipe also makes for a great post-workout snack or a healthy dessert. One thing I want to point out is that you might notice the bread deflates when it's fully cooled. That's because this protein banana bread is super dense. When you're using things like Greek yogurt, protein powder, and casein protein, it's never going to look the same as regular banana bread. At the end of the day, baking is a science, and when you're swapping ingredients to make macro-friendly recipes, it's going to be a little different. Please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to my channel for more macro-friendly recipes.